Turning now to the migrant crisis here in Chicago.
And today marks a record for the city. Right now, the largest number of buses, 14, expected to arrive today. So far, Chicago has welcomed a total of 17,000 new migrant arrivals. Our Sabrina Franza has been at City Hall all day as two aldermen question whether Chicago should remain a sanctuary city. Sabrina.
There are two proposals on the table. One asks for all voters to weigh in. Should the city still be considered a sanctuary city? The other asks for alderpeople to be notified if they're receiving migrant buses in their wards. Both moves that come as record numbers of buses transporting asylum seekers continue to arrive in Chicago and as the city struggles to house them.
Hopefully the message gets across that you have to communicate, number one, and let the people know what's going on in these wards and what's going on with the migrants. They're not communicating with the aldermen about what's happening with the migrants.
Alderman Anthony Beal spoke to us just after officially proposing those two migrant measures. First, he wants all voters to decide in a full referendum whether or not they think Chicago should remain a sanctuary city. If approved, the vote would appear on the March 2024 primary ballot. However, it's not expected to pass the Rules Committee. He also proposed a measure that would require the city alert alderpeople of migrants coming to their ward ahead of time and would require them to sign off in advance. That measure is also headed to committee after Alderman Beal noted his ward received buses over the weekend and found themselves scrambling to find a place to shelter people. Opponents of both of these ideas explained how they could backfire, forcing some wards to house more migrants than others.
I think it's absolutely fair to have better communications. I think the only issue I took with the ordinance was that it requires a sign-off by the alder. And so I think if you do that, you're limiting the opportunity for everyone to take on some of the sacrifice.
The mayor reacting to this after council had ended. We'll have more on that at 5. Last week, we told you about plans for some alderpeople to join the mayor in a trip to the border. Today, we found out that is still in the works, and we will keep following up. In the newsroom, Sabrina Franza, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Sabrina.